Let's talk
Need a
about the trade
transition.
that went down. Karl-Anthony Towns going to the Knicks for
Mm.
Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, and a first-round pick. Kind of came out of nowhere, but right before
Yeah.
media day, dropped a bomb on
Crazy.
us. The
Hmm.
what do you call the sham wow? What are they calling him now? There's no Woj bombs
I don't
with.
know.
Oh, that's a cool name.
Yeah.
So
Can't do Shams bomb.
yeah, sounds a little racist. But what do we think about the trade? What do we
I
think
was
about the
gonna say.
trade? Cat going to the Knicks. Let's start with the Knicks side. Let's talk about the trade on the Knicks perspective. Who wants to give their 2 cents
Yeah.
first?
I mean, yeah, I can go first, but before that, I wanted to say, the Minnesota, the NBA has no loyalty to your guys. Cat was in the league or on the team for 10 years, and no warning or anything, and they sent him. It sucks. This is why I was saying like
Crazy.
as much money as possible, and Jalen Brunson is in the wrong because this organization could do the same exact thing to him.
Mm.
Sadly,
I don't think they
Another
will.
organization is still paying him though.
huh? Though I don't know.
Said another
You,
org would still pay him though.
you never know, but
They
yeah,
ain't
I
doing
think
it
this
to
is
Jalen Brunson because he took a pay cut. That only happens to people who are like given like actual contracts. The reason they moved Cat in the first place was
because of the
because he had
money.
a max deal and
Yeah, yeah,
they
nice.
were going to be in a luxury tax. So
Yeah,
with this move, they are saving money. They're saving about 20 million. So, but
smart, but
obviously,
at least give the
Damn.
man a heads up. It's been in your organization
Yeah.
for damn near a decade. No
Hmm.
loyalty in this game.
Sucks.
Yeah. I wonder when he actually like found out. Like I guess on Twitter, right?
Minute.
Or something.
Yeah, I heard it was minutes before, but
Damn.
still not the greatest. But I can give my 2 cents. I feel like this is a great trade for the Knicks. They get spacing with Karl-Anthony Towns. I think he's a better player than Julius Randle, and I don't know how this is going to work with when Mitchell Robinson comes back, but it still keeps them in contention and gives them a better chance than what they had before. Yes, you lose the perimeter defense with Dante DiVincenzo, and that's a big hit to your depth. But you get another shooter with Karl-Anthony Towns and a playmaker that can help Jalen Brunson score more efficiently. I feel like spacing the floor, and we'll see how this works out. But I feel like the Knicks did well overall making this trade and trying to want to get a championship now. So
I like the
at
I like the
least,
Brunson Cat duo. I think it could work better than the Randall and Brunson could have worked. But even I didn't even I've we've seen it for like what, a year and a half, 2 years now, on and off because
yeah,
Randall's on and
years.
off. I didn't really see anything with it, but I can see some offensive firepower coming from Cat and Brunson at least in the playoffs come. So they would work better than Randall's game would. But yeah, just I don't know. I feel like it's like this is my lateral neutral meter. I feel like it's just a little bit above it. Like it's nothing crazy. I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect Cat or anything, but I mean they're borderline caliber wise same player, but I guess Cat is a little bit better. So you didn't do
Different
wrong.
play style too, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
different play
defensively,
style.
he won't give you what Randall gives you, but with getting the McHale and having
Hmm.
OG, if they stay healthy, and Tom Thibodeau with how he plays defense, I think
Yeah,
Cat will be fine.
man, DiVincenzo is a
Mm.
big hit for them. To be honest, you
Yeah,
talked about it depth. I do agree fully. DiVincenzo's a really, really, really good player. Really good player. Damn.
Yeah. I was gonna say like I wanted to touch on like I feel like they mostly did this because of the fact that they got Mikhail and they have OG coming back from injury. It's like they can afford to lose. Like Randall even wasn't the greatest defender in the first place, but he like it's more of a hustle type of like he's gonna play hard even if
yeah,
he's not
it's
all the way
culture.
defensively skilled like that. Cat, you know, I mean, he has his moments, but generally that's his motor is not on defense like that. But I feel like now that they have two of the like could be two like the two best defensive wings in the league, and then they're also like good on the offensive end. Like I feel like they'll be able to play more. Like they'll perimeter defense will be good enough to overshadow the interior defense. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I feel like and Mitchell Robinson will be there, but I feel like they're gonna try to go more towards
maybe.
a spacing offense, especially now that they have Cat.
Yeah, I think
Do you
that's
think
the
they'll have?
Um,
Do you think they'll have them both on the floor?
in
yeah,
some
yeah,
sets maybe, but
I
I
mean,
don't
you did it
know.
with
'Cause
Gobert and Cat, right? So I mean,
yeah, and
I
that
don't
that
think
was kind of troublesome at the
I
beginning.
don't.
mm,
Mm, I don't
and
know if
Mitchell
Mitchell
Robinson isn't
Robinson
as
would
good
even
as
be there. To be
Gobert.
honest,
He won't be there
Yeah,
till
he could get
December or
traded
something
too.
like
Bez,
that,
I think
right?
you sound a little low in my ears. I don't know. Everyone sounds pretty loud. You sound a little low. I don't know if you want to fix it.
But
Can you
I
hear
think he
me?
was talking about.
I hear you. It's just like you're lower than Omari and Hassan by a good amount on my like ears.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
same
true.
here.
That's true.
Hello.
A little
Is that
better.
better?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
All
better.
right. Yeah. So I was just gonna say at first I didn't really like the trade for the Knicks because I was like giving up a first round pick. You're getting rid of Dante. I really wanted to see the Nova boys, kind of play together one game. They didn't really get to do that
Yeah,
at
that
all.
was sad.
But as I thought about it, and as people brought up good points that I read online, Dante DiVincenzo, he also came out a little bit after the trade went down that he was kind of unhappy because he was going to be moved to the bench basically, and he played a big role for them in the playoffs. But then he had to, now like Omari said, them getting Mikal, them getting OG, they kind of had a lot of wing players already. Obviously, you got Brunson's going to be on the court at all times, so kind of didn't need Dante. Him as a piece, he's nice. He has some big moments for them, but I think they have enough players at his position to kind of do what he does and fill in for him. As opposed to the big man, that's where they kind of struggled. We kind of wondered how Julius Randle would fit in with the rest of the team. Will he play center? Is he going to be able to really manage that big man role? He has some limitations offensively as well. Now with Cat, you do give up Dante obviously, but you get the obvious upgrade from Randle to Cat. Offensively, he's way better. You know what I mean? Like he could shoot the three.
Yeah.
He could play from the post. Not a bad passer. Defensively is kind of where I have questions with Tom Thibodeau, though. I think, he already played for Tibbs before, so he kind of knows what to expect from him.
Yeah.
The type of, buy-in he needs on the defensive side. So I actually do like it for them because if it doesn't work, you're really what other center, what would they have traded for? This is probably the best, the best center they could have got. And so I don't mind, taking the swing on Karl-Anthony, even though he does have his, playoff deficiencies. I think Randall has even more playoff deficiencies from the past. So it's like I'm totally okay with them.
And his ceiling's not as
trying
high.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But there have been moments where that's someone that don't shit on Randall too much. He shoots lights out, and he shoots. I know he shoots horrible too. But there have been times where he shot like 5, 6, 7
40%
threes.
1 year.
Like he's done this. Like I'm not saying he's
Cat's
done
just
this.
a better shooter too. Like
Of course,
we all know
100%.
that.
I don't. Yeah.
That too,
Man,
like Cat's the only person that
champion.
Cat's the only person that won't can shoot from the corner or doesn't have to be limited to shooting from the corner. Like sometimes Mikal or OG, or that's probably the 3-point shots they're mostly going to take. Cat can shoot all around from the perimeter, so that'll help
Mikal
with the
can make it
spacing.
all around.
I mean, when have you ever seen him do that for his game? It's usually like a mid range or layups, and then he'll
If
take
they
it.
start him at
Shoot
the
up
I've seen him, like,
top of the key threes
he could-
too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
he could shoot around the arc, bro. Like, come on.
They
now.
could
Yeah,
use him
he'll
as
have- he's going to have to.
They could
No.
use him as like a hub, like with Sacramento does a Sabonis. If they stop him at the top of the key or at high post, and they can get some shit going where they're going around, they're sending some off ball screens, getting people open. Or if he has an open shot, he could just pull up and shoot over someone. I don't know. I like it.
I still think this offense revolves through Brunson though. Maybe
Yeah.
they could
No,
have
for
some
sure.
plays from him, but
Maybe there were questions
I'm good.
before with Julius Randle because of how he resurrected the Knicks, and then Brunson came along. But now this is definitely Jalen Brunson's team. Same for
So
Anthony
you're-
Edwards
You
too.
think Josh Hart's gonna start?
100% now.
100%.
They lose.
So what their lineup be? It would be Brunson, Hart,
Brunson,
OG,
Hart.
Mikal, and
Mikal, and
Cat.
Cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Play
great lineup.
hard at the 4 basically because he's basically a power forward.
Yeah, he's a
Small
good
ball,
rebounder.
small ball plus
Or you
Cat.
could play OG at the 4. It's not the worst thing either.
They could do 5 out offense.
But losing
like
Dante from a perimeter defensive perspective and depth is might be the biggest hit for them. Might be bigger than losing.
It might be, but they're right when they say they have a bunch of people that do the same thing. Like,
Yeah,
bro,
they
you
got
have
Mc-
you have
they got
OG,
McBride off the bench,
Mikal,
too,
Hart.
still.
Like,
They're not shooting at the same clip though. Is the thing.
I mean, Mikal could.
I think
Nah,
what
no way.
Yeah,
his shooting's gonna
Yeah,
be
yes, he
missed, I
can.
think. But I also think the guys you have can replace what he does, especially if he's gonna be a role player. As valuable as his shooting is, when you're you're giving up a role player and a guy that wasn't even gonna be there to start the season because he's hurt. The fit is questionable as it is. You get him for a shooter, a center, a guy that's an all-star. He kind of had like a resurgence here with the Timberwolves last year. And like going back to the Timberwolves, like you said, Hassan, they just had one of their best seasons against the Western Conference Finals with this team. They finally made the 2 big lineup work with Cat and everything, and they just go up and trade him, which to me, I didn't like that for them because personally, I would have waited one more year and tried to run it back because I felt like they had momentum going. I felt like they were making some waves. Like this is the furthest they've been since KG era, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the playoffs. So
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards only getting better. They made some additions in the offseason. They drafted Rob Dillingham. So I kind of was disappointed to see that. Dante DiVincenzo for sure is going to help them. I think the shooting is going to be important. You know what I mean? They get a first round pick out of it, but I also question how Randall fits with this team. You know, he doesn't do
Yeah.
what Cat does. He can't,
From the shooting
like in the
perspective,
playoffs we saw Cat defending Jokic, and then you got Rudy Gobert protecting the rim. Randall can't do those things, so it's just going to be interesting to see how it works for them.
But I mean, Randall definitely has his upside, or it provides like more positive, or not more positives, but his own type of positives towards that team with how he plays from a defensive standpoint and hustle, rebounding. Cat's is not as gritty as him, so I'll give him that. Plus the bully ball aspect too, from Julius Randle will definitely be an impact towards that team. And now we know fully that Anthony Edwards is a guy. If you didn't know now, like I'll leave with
Oh,
Cat
there's a
gone.
spider.
He's Anthony Edwards is him. And then with the roster they have coming off the bench, it might be one of the most deadly bench units with Naz Reid and now Dante DiVincenzo. And forget about Jaden Daniels too. At least he's gotten better. He can space the floor. So I do like this trade for Minnesota. I think they'll be at the same level. Like we can't forget that Julius Randle has been an All-NBA player, multi-year All-Star as well, and so you got to take that into account, his skill level, and give them credit for, I guess, getting rid of that contract and having Julius Randle step up in that role. And I think he'll do pretty well. I think they'll be okay and be around the same as last year, especially anticipating an ant jump. So
I think the problem with that, though, is I agree with you. I think they'll be around where they are still. But the problem is I think they want to make that next step, you know. Like, after getting to Western Conference Finals, you kind of want to take that step to be, okay, we could compete for a championship. I feel like this, not that it sets them back too much, but, like, it doesn't seem like they're upgrading overall. Yeah. So that's why I kind of feel like I don't like it. Not that the trade is bad. I think either side it's a fair trade. Julius Randle is a good player in his own right, like you said, got his own strengths, but it's just you got so far with this Cat and Gobert front court, it was working well. True. Like I really did see the vision there. I kind of felt like it was going to go somewhere if they really stuck to it. So that's the only
money.
thing
I guess they didn't want to keep that contract. Especially
some owners are cheap, man. Like that's just how it is. They don't want to pay. I mean, I get it because it's millions and millions, like hundreds of millions of dollars extra luxury tax, but you got to try to win, right? Like that's the name of the game.
So I guess they're making on Anthony Edwards taking the next step and the talent of him.
Daniels too.
It's just weird.
It's just him take a step.
It's just weird how like they get rid of playoff dropper for another playoff dropper. It's a little weird.
Cat's better in the
Cat had a good run this year.
Yeah, Cat had I think he played very good.
He didn't play well in the conference finals.
Yeah, but like what I just said, like they got a guy who also sucks in the playoffs time in and time out. Like I cannot remember this man having a decent game in the playoffs. Cat has had a good run.
Randall's way worse. Like
Randall's had
some
shit
series, but Randall's not have one good playoff
That's what
series.
I'm saying. Like it's crazy. It's just weird.
Thing is, maybe now because you're not asking as much from him, he'll perform better in the playoffs.
So. Mind games.
We'll see. We got.
They might not even make the playoffs.
No, they'll make the playoffs.
No, they'll make the playoffs.
Yeah, like you said, banking on the development of Jaden Daniels and Naz Reid. I guess keeping Naz Reid was a huge reason why they made the trade. If they
He's probably going to start the year. Like they're probably going to play him because Randall won't be ready. He's not healthy. He had surgery.
Randall's not going to start the season.
No, that's also why I don't like it because it's like he's not even going to be there right away.
Do you know when he's expected to come back?
Sometime in the first month, but he's still not going to be there he's not going to be there for training camp for sure.